went to token 2049. Yeah, so we connected with a bunch of people and we need to follow up with all of them.
Yeah, that's the thing when you are doing a lot of events. After then, you have to follow up pretty often. Yeah. All right. Well, let's start. A quick question about Zoolana. So, I've been in your Discord and watching your demo, etc. But I'm maybe not the most aware person about the project as a whole. So, if you could make a quick presentation about Zoolana and the gameplay and what's the latest news, etc.
Yeah, sure. So I think most of the people here knows about our project, Zoolana. So Zoolana will be a Forex mobile blockchain-based strategy, real-time strategy game. And a lot of what we focus on storyline in the beginning, and that's what we hope to continue leading up to the launch. So we've been building a little bit for over a year now, and the game development has been pretty exciting. To be honest, it's the first time on me and Brick building a game, but with the people that we're working with, they're very experienced in their endeavors in the gaming industry, and we've been learning a lot from them as well as having our own design into the combat.
Yeah, let me jump in here. This is Brick, DD's co-founder. Nice to be chatting. Thanks for hosting us.
Thanks for having me.
The game is going to function similar to Clash of Clans. That's the general gameplay. So it's a 4X mobile strategy game. Other games in this genre include Rise of Kingdoms, Infinity Kingdoms, War and Order. It's kind of the most popular mid-core strategy genre in mobile gaming. And some of the benefits that come along with building in such a genre is that it's the perfect overlap with the fan base of blockchain games in general. So blockchain gamers are really interested in resource management. They're interested in maximizing the efficiency of how they collect resources. And that's precisely the gameplay that's at hand in 4X strategy games. So it's really the perfect genre to be building a blockchain game in. And strategically, we're really excited about building in that industry. And like DD was saying, we have we don't have years of experience in building a game, but both DD and I are experienced game players. DD in particular is the #1 player for a 4X mobile strategy game in Asia called War and Order. I'm a top 200 player for a card game called Hearthstone. So while we haven't built games before, it's kind of a natural extension of our interests and of our skill set to kind of apply our talent at games towards building out our vision for a mobile blockchain game. So that's a little bit of background, I guess, about what we're doing and why we're doing it.
Yeah, makes sense. So I didn't know you weren't in the gaming industry for a long time, but that's the thing about Web3. It's open to come and start a new project and build on it. As you've been there for like 1 year, I know there is a whole community behind Zoolana, and especially in the Monkey DAO. So I was pretty excited about inviting you to listen more about your project. So I've been hearing about some alpha, so my ears are open.
Yeah. So we have a really exciting next few months coming up. So we have an NFT mint coming up in the next 6 weeks or so for our in-game hero characters. These are called the Zanis. So they're humanoid animals. We have 5 species right now that we've been sharing with the public, more in development, TM. But we have 5 right now that we're going to be releasing during this upcoming mint. And we're really excited about sharing the work we've been doing with those with the public. So anyone that's been following the project since, well, around day one, around this time last year, those initial mints we were doing with the Alpha Red and the Alpha Blue, they're familiar with the 5 animal species that our main characters are from. So we have a rhino, we have an elephant, we have a tiger, we have a bear, and we have a monkey. So these 5 animals were kind of the initial set of characters that we've shared, and these will be the Zanis that people are minting during this upcoming mint. And these in-game characters are going to function kind of similar to Pokemon in terms of the mechanics of the game. So you're going to have them fighting alongside normal units, like a typical 4X strategy game hero structure. So you'll have hero units, the Zanis, and normal units, which are kind of like the ground troops, which are training for every combat. And the hero units, you're going to level up. You're going to put resources, you're going to put experience, you're going to put equipment into them. And over time, you're going to be making decisions that affect them for the lifetime of the NFT or for the lifetime of the Zani. So you're kind of going to be making some semi-permanent decisions as you're leveling up the character, and you're going to grow attached to the character because you're making some choices about their development. So the goal right now in our design is to offer you a few different build directions for where you take each character. This is maybe not the best comparison to Pokemon, but quite comparable to games like League of Legends, where you might have one example would be a character like Master Yi. So for Master Yi, you could go full attack damage, and so every auto attack does a ton of damage. Or you could go full AP, and your autos don't really do a ton of damage, but your abilities have a ton of damage behind them. So in that same way, we're hoping to give a few different build directions for each character. So there might be a health build for the bear, there might be a damage build, and there might be something else. And the tiger might have something like an attack speed build, a pure attack build, and then maybe something else for him as well. So right now we're building kind of for flexibility and for player choice and how they want to play. And it's pretty exciting for us to get to the point where players can actually own the Zanis. Because up until this point, they've kind of been characters that are featured on our side, but no one has actually been able to say, I have a monkey character in my wallet and I'm excited to play with them. So we're pretty excited to make that next step.
Sounds very great. A few points you've been mentioning that are pretty interesting, in my opinion. Well, I really like the strategy behind the fact the NFT is able to evolve through decisions. What kind of quest or decisions will be able to change the character, and how are you, in the technical side, able to update the NFT directly in the wallet or through the metadata? Or if
Yeah.
you could give us
So
some clue.
evolutions are probably not the best way to think about it. The design right now does not include the monkey turning into Mega Monkey or something like that and changing his whole model. It's more that as you play and as you level up the character, you're going to make permanent stat choices, and you're going to make permanent choices regarding which direction you want to go with the abilities that the characters have. So that will be done through editing the NFT's metadata. That's something that's like a core function of the blockchain integration into the game, is going to be updating the metadata pretty dynamically for these characters as you play them moving forward. It's interesting for us because what we're hoping to do here is actually build a Web 2 game accessible for Web 2 gamers and Web 2 players but that has Web3 assets accessible. So we really want anyone who plays mobile games, anyone who plays strategy games, to be able to jump into the game, not be gated by something like a $30,000 Axie necessary to buy to get into the game, and be able to start playing. Now, the benefit of having the actual NFT comes with once you've put that many hours. I've put dozens of hours into this Pokemon or dozens of hours into this Zanny, but this build isn't as good as I was hoping, or the meta has shifted, or there's something really exciting going on with the elephant character, and I really want to try a defense elephant build instead of this attack speed tiger. I'm going to go take this to the market and I'm going to go sell it. And I'm going to use that money to now shift the focus on where I want to build. That's a really powerful strategy. And that's really only possible at the level that we want to make it accessible if you do it in Web3. So that's where the NFT comes in. And that's what we're really excited about doing here, is that we're building a game that you're going to be able to play as you like with the same level of ease that you might have played any game growing up, except it's going to have Web3 functionality for you to actually access the value present in those assets. And this is like the core of what building something real in Web3 looks like, is using the technology to solve a problem. Like, so often in this space, people are building products just to sell NFTs, or they're building products because some crypto feature or crypto chain has some feature that they want to show off, and it's almost like a proof of concept rather than meeting a market need. And that's not what we're doing here. We're building something that's actually useful for gamers, and it's pretty exciting to us to see where that's going to lead.
All right, that's a pretty extensive answer about the whole strategic side of Solana.
Yeah, I like to ramble, so definitely cut me off
Yeah,
when I'm.
go on, go on. I like details, and well, I like hearing alpha. So especially when it's in small committee as exclusive as we are right now. So you know. I've been wondering when you said the species, the different species. Uh, as I understood, there will be 5 to start with. I've been wondering as a gamer if each species has a different ability or something that distinguish them between each other, or if there is some lore as well behind that, or
You're talking about the hero characters, right?
yeah.
Okay. Yeah, so all five characters are pretty unique on themselves, and they do have lore, and we will be sharing those lore um, before the min or either during the min. So we have those ready. We had it written down already. Brick actually made the effort to build on the character's lore, and you know it's exciting. I feel like part of what's most exciting for me personally on seeing how the game has progressed from the start of development until now is just seeing it coming into life. Like we've been talking about Zoolana. Oh, it's based in some Colorado mountains, and these hero characters are so they look like this, like they're from a futuristic abandoned building that have been rampaged on by humans. And I think a huge part of what made me more excited about Zulana is that we're just seeing it come to life. Like the settlement is ready, the combat review is ready. We just shared it yesterday, if I'm not wrong. And all of these all of these things and decisions, seeing it come to life is just, yeah, it's just very exciting. I've no other words to describe it. It's just very, very exciting for me.
Yeah, I can't even imagine the work you've been putting behind and the work all the time required to create a whole game with the structure and the law. And the art behind that. It's awesome. So
Yeah, and
congrats.
it's interesting to work with artists as well. Like once you have like a very specific vision for how you want the character be like. So like for example, if you take a look at the tiger, he has this robe on his back as well as an armor on his on his left chest that kind of looks like what he put together by himself from the remnants of the technology that were abandoned by the humans. So I think little decisions like that, once it comes to life, it just like once everything comes together, it's just yeah, it's very exciting to be looking at all these and not only how they look, but how they operate as well. So when I talk about operate, I'm talking about like their active skills. So you mentioned if they are gonna have active skills, like unique skills towards themselves, and the answer is yes. So every single Zeni will have unique skills onto themselves, and they do not only have one. That yeah, this is kind of an alpha. They are gonna have multiple skills in the future. So like Brick has mentioned, you need to choose sort of the path that you want to go towards and what kind of skills that you want to upgrade. So yeah, it's all very exciting, especially yeah, it's kind of interesting as well because I do watch anime, and if anyone is uh familiar with One Piece, Zoro was a huge influence on the character of the tiger in our world. And although Zoro has three swords, but our yet we kind of thought of having three swords for the tiger, but yeah, that's just too much. Um, but yeah, a lot of those active skills came from the influence of yeah, animes and as well as other games as well. Just not only animes, but yeah, it's very, very exciting to be deciding, you know, what kind of skills they're gonna have, how they look like. Yeah, it's amazing. And especially with the quality of the work of Magic Media, you know, they've been in the industry for decades. They have notable like we have some serious and game veterans working for us right now, and it's just to be able to work in the same room with them, well, not in the same room, like to be able to work together with them is just an amazing experience for us.
Glad to hear all of that. Pretty bullish on all you said and the fact it's always a pleasure and a world experience to work with people that are passionate and know their domain. So
Yeah, I think
I
one
will just quickly, Gangada is asking to talk, so I'm gonna bring him. So we will answer his questions and we
yeah,
can
sure.
continue then. All right, Gangada, I've been sending you an invite. Maybe if he ends around, you can just continue. Meanwhile. Right.
Yeah, I forgot what I wanted to say.
Yeah. So
I wanted to say something.
all right, he left. Oh no.
Oh,
Well, well, we will continue then. About the game and the fact you are releasing the mint in a few weeks. How to say? Do you have already a mint price in mind? A setup date? Well, I already thought how the on which marketplace it will be released, etc. Or is it
yeah.
something on which you are still working or not being able to, well, maybe share the information yet? But
In
still
terms
asking.
of in terms of mint price and how the mint structure will go, I don't think we're quite ready to share yet. We actually pushed back our mint to, well, internally, I don't think we've communicated openly to the public that we're gonna do the mint on October, mid-October. But the original plan internally that we finalized was October, but we decided to push it back to November due to another.
It appears your microphone is cut. At least I can't hear you. Maybe that's a sign of destiny. They won't allow you to share some alpha with us. Are you there? Oh, what's happening? Brick, maybe you can follow up. But... Two seconds, we have some technical issues about the ability to talk.
Test.
All right.
Can you hear me?
Yeah.
Oh Jesus, I got rugged. I got rugged by Twitter. Not the first time.
Live. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it happens with Twitter Spaces.
So as like what I was saying, we have not we are not ready to share the mint price yet. We do have the mint structure set up right now, but due to the fact that we are actually connecting with multiple launch pads, I guess we can share the alpha here. Yeah, we're in talks with Magic Eden because if you don't know yet, we were their third ever launchpad partner back in October of 2021, and yeah, we're in talk with Magic Eden. We're in talk with Fractal. I believe we are getting put into a conversation with Trust Labs. Are you familiar with CDFI? We're in talk with them as well. They're pretty huge in the space.
I haven't heard about CDFI, to be honest, but about Fractal and Magic Eden, indeed.
Yeah. So I think CDFI has not really been in the Solana space, but they've been pretty huge on ETH. They're basically an incubator and launchpad for specifically blockchain games and NFTs.
All right, sounds interesting, but yeah, as you said, if they aren't operating on Sol, I must confess I'm not as aware about the projects on ETH as the one on Sol. So
yeah, no worries. I mean,
it's been a long time. I've been digging the hole, you know.
Yeah, Solana is a
Solana,
huge ecosystem. Yeah, and it's interesting as well because I feel like, okay, so Solana's hacker house, this most recent one in Singapore was the first ever Solana hacker house that I've been to. Brick has been to multiple at this point. He went to the one in Austin, NFT NYC as well. He went to the one in Miami, but this is my first hacker house, and yeah, the amount of people that we've connected is just insane. The amount of connections that we've made is, yeah, it's amazing how one simple event, well, not simple. I'm sure like the planning was crazy, but yeah, just it's interesting how Solana decided to create like these events called hacker houses, and I feel like a lot of people that I met during the hacker house yeah, they're just so maxis. They really believe in Soul. Like I could say the same for us, but I would say we're open to other blockchains as well. But the amount, yeah, it's just amazing connecting with so many people who really believe in Solana, and it's really exciting to see how connections are being made in the space very quickly, person in real life. It's just very different.
Yeah, and I can't wait for the next hot space, hotspot, which will be the breakpoint at Lisbon. I don't know if you will be there, but I will be, and well, can't wait.
Yeah, it's still up in the air for us because we're gonna launch our NFT min, we're gonna launch the IDO, we're gonna launch the game of the alpha of the game in December. So it's still up in the air for us. There's still a conversation to be had whether we are going to Lisbon. Yeah, but if we do
I think,
go, we'll definitely connect.
yeah, 100%. Anyone who's been following us for a while knows that we're a global team. So I've been based out of New York City, and DD has been based out of Singapore. But I've been in Singapore now for almost the past month, and the level of efficiency that you can have with someone you're working in the same room in is like crazy. I hate to say this because I love remote work as an idea. I hate the idea of commuting every day and wasting hours of your life. I'm from New York City. I'm too familiar with what it's like to be a commuter. That being said, it really is helpful to be working in the same working in the same room as the person that you're working with. So I think it would probably be good for us to be at breakpoint, but we also have to balance the productivity that comes with being in the same place alongside the fact that that's going to be days that we're not taking to work on IDO strategy, to work on marketing, to work on all these other things, to be networking. So it's kind of a trade-off for us, but breakpoint does seem really exciting, and I think if it makes sense for us to go, we'll definitely do that.
Yeah, I got it. Let's not get distracted just in front of the goal line. And
Yes.
indeed, yeah, if you have the mint happening in a few weeks, just right after the breakpoint, I guess you will have a ton of work. And as we say, the greatest ideas are coming in the last hours. So
Yeah, that's a good ethos. We like that here at Zoolana as well. It often feels to us like you don't really get into the meat of something until you're doing it, and that's when you really figure out, oh, that idea that we had this whole time, what if it was actually a little different, and what if it was this instead? And those kind of shifts always require, like, it requires a lot of iterative work, going back and doing that draft that you had written of that article again, but with this different change, or doing that draft of the NFT design again with this different change. So yeah, that resonates with us. For your experience in the Solana space, will this be the first breakpoint that you've gone to? Because Arnold and I weren't able to make it to the event last year.
Yeah, I couldn't make it for the last year neither, but I've been in New York for the event happening there, but
Nice.
not the previous breakpoint, and it was awesome to visit New York, by the way. So
was that your first time in New York?
I've been in Manhattan, but it's pretty big, so couldn't tell you all the places I've been through. I've been visiting for a whole week, so I had the time to make some Uber salaries. So I'm saying that as a French guy, so maybe you had a clue with my accent, but yeah, New York is a very, very nice place, and the restaurants are very good. But I'm not talking about game anymore, which is the main focus of the conversation. So let's talk about the community involvement and how. Have you anticipated some tournaments, some events in the near future? Well, to show some demo or just to try the game? Or
Yeah, so the game, we have an alpha version releasing in January, so that'll be the chance for people to actually get their hands on some gameplay. So that'll be a dream come true. It's been something we've been building towards for a year already at this point. So that's really exciting. In terms of events leading up to the mint and leading up to the IDO, I think one thing we've always found the community really rallies around is lore, and I think we're hoping to do some more deeper dives into the lore that we've written already, and also the lore for the characters upcoming. So I think community members who like the story behind Zoolana should be paying attention as we kind of start releasing information about the hero characters, because DD mentioned this previously, but we do have stories written for them, and we do have some background information for those guys. So there definitely, I could see there being community events over the next few weeks where we dive a little bit deeper into the lore. Besides that, we also do tribal games every other week in our Discord right now, where the different tribes from Zoolana fight against each other in various games and win prizes. So anyone listening that hasn't yet seen that, definitely jump into our Discord and join a tribe, because that's also, I think, one thing our community does really well is engages in these semi-weekly events and kind of competes against each other already.
yeah, that's awesome to hear. There is already some events scheduled on a frequent way. Been wondering if you will invite monkeys to play with you, or
Yeah, I think it's a natural fit to have SMB joining the world of Zoolana. I think we would love to talk to monkeys about how to collaborate for these upcoming launches, because these are going to be huge events, and Monkey DAO is always there for important developments in the Solana ecosystem. So yeah, absolutely. Any monkeys listening that want to get into Zoolana, that want kind of a crash course on what we're building, maybe an understanding of the NFTs we've released already, an understanding of what's to come, absolutely feel free to DM DD or myself, either via the personal accounts or as on Twitter, and just introduce yourself and ask some questions. We're always happy to talk to people, to anyone in the Solana community, and especially monkeys. I minted monkeys on that fateful day, August 3rd of last year, and it's been a pretty amazing ride to kind of see the community develop around the project, and to see the I don't know, just the the community building that's gone on. It's pretty amazing.
I'm very glad to hear your invitation and your love for Monkey DAO, as I'm pretty much in the same situation as you. So let's hear Bad Paddy. I've been inviting you to talk if you had some questions about Zoolana. Bad Paddy, are you there? Well, it seems he's shy as well as Gangadhar, but
Okay.
oh,
Hello.
you are there.
Yeah. Hello.
Hello. How are
Yeah.
you?
Okay. When was the idea will going on?
It'll be December of this year, so 2 months from now.
Okay. And the chapter is already done or not yet?
What is done? Sorry.
What token airdrop?
No, for the alpha editions? No, that's a great question. Those will proceed after the IDO.
Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thanks, Gangadhar. Thanks for the questions. Bad Paddy, maybe, if you have some as well. if anyone has some questions, feel free to ask them. We'll bring you in the stage. Well, it appears people are pretty calm and aren't willing to ask any more questions. But let me ask a few lasts, and we will slowly end the space. So you are able to release the NFT within a few weeks, the game as well. There are
Hey guys,
tournaments. Oh, but Betty,
can anyone hear me?
yeah, hearing you well. Go on. Hello, Bad Petty? Waiting. I guess since Elon announced his willingness to buy Twitter, the space are rigging us. Maybe maybe it's all linked, you know.
They're sabotaging it before they hand off the reins. Yeah.
It's Elon, you know. So, well, as I've been saying, you've been explaining a whole bullish vision for Solana, but in the near future, you've been telling you want to bring Web2 gamers to play within Web3, and I've been wondering if you had some deeper tools to focus on this Web2 players more than Web3, or if you had some ideas to bring them, because that's a very big problem currently. I'm facing myself when I'm discussing with Web2 gamers. They are pretty bearish on NFTs and crypto as a whole. So if you had some ideas to counter that.
I think it's really important for us that Web2 gamers can get in without having the friction that normally comes along with using standard Web3 crypto products. So, like, we're looking into using a service like Web3 Auth. When you log in to our game, it should be as easy as logging into something like Facebook, as logging into anything that uses social sign-on. We're hoping to be able to implement Web3 solutions to allow login to be that simple. So where we're going with this is to have a product that's as usable as anything in Web 2, but that gives you the features that come along with integrating Web 3. So that's a tall order, and that's kind of what people have been driving to for a long time. But we think that the space is there, and it's ready for this next step where Web 3 is going on, and people might not even totally be aware. So as far as the mechanics go, Web 2 gamers will be able to play, and they'll be able to use their hero characters and level them up like they would in any other game. And they don't have to deal with crypto until they get to the point where they want to sell their NFT or trade it or borrow against it in some DeFi protocol. And at that point, that is when they choose to enable crypto. They might pay a small fee to put their character on chain. The NFT gets exported to their in-game wallet, and then now they have access to that token to pass around and trade. But that time doesn't have to come for that player until they've been playing for potentially dozens of hours. And at that point, they don't care the steps they have to figure out to get it on chain. If they want to sell that character, if they want to trade it, if they want to take on a loan against it, they're going to do that. So we think we're really bullish on solutions that delay that friction, the onboarding friction, until later in the lifespan of the player. Because we all know, if you ask someone who's not familiar with crypto to go download a separate wallet app to use your game, that's just not going to work. So we really think it's a matter of finding the best design solutions and technical solutions to make it frictionless, and we think we're pretty close to doing that.
And I think building on to what Brick has said, I feel like, I mean, all gamers are actually used to Web3 already. I feel like they just don't know it yet. Like like okay, there are games like World of Warcraft, RuneScape, LOL, Dota 2. Like they have these native currencies in their own game, and these virtual currencies are they're just prevalent in modern free-to-play games, but they just don't offer real-world value. And once people get incentivized to overcome the onboarding hurdles further onto the game, um, I believe they're willing to put up with a more, I would say, painful onboarding as compared to the initial onboarding, which is very seamless. And even if, let's say, it's painful for them, like gamers have proven that they're willing to put up with these painful onboarding because like millions of people are installing mods to play their favorite games. And yeah, I feel like gamers are already used to Web3. They just don't know it yet.
Yeah, as you said, bringing them in an easy way, avoiding to install a new wallet, and all this stuff is very important. It has to be very simple for everyone to just come in, participate, and play and have fun. Um, I really like the comparison with World of Warcraft and all these other games that have, as RuneScape, some virtual money. I agree that the first concept, in my opinion, of virtual economy is based on gaming. So I'm very bullish overall on gaming for web in crypto and Web3, and especially since the ownership of the assets is the um, most prevalent thing through the NFT. Um, as you said, on a traditional game, you don't own your character, and if they are like shutting down the servers or willing to stop funding the game and the development, etc., and the game is slowly dying, and you've been investing so much time and uh, even money within the game, and to ultimately being rugged,
Yeah.
So it's yeah, players are accepting that, but I think we will see some movement going forward, and people will want to reappropriate their own ownerships on assets, because it's ain't funny to own nothing. The famous quote, "You will own nothing and be happy." That's yeah, that's fun.
Jesus. Yeah. Brick, do you hear that?
Yeah, we're thinking along the same lines. That's that you'll own nothing and be happy is we're familiar with that and thinking about that all the time.
Yeah, and that's just the way every gamer is just accepting their fate. Like, well, I will play this game, and once they want to shut it down, well, goodbye.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
mean, and even in this scenario, gamers they're still spending hundreds of billions of dollars, right, with these virtual items that they're basically renting from publishers and these big corporations. But NFTs, they actually empower the gamers with, ownership and liquidity. There's even liquidity solutions like a ton of AMMs out there right now that could solve potential issues of not having enough liquidity in the marketplace. And touching on marketplace, yeah, players are not only just used to game economies, but they're used to marketplaces as well. Like look at World of Warcraft. They have their auction house. EVE Online had what's it called? I think it's called The Market. RuneScape
Yeah.
had the Grand Exchange, and I believe that some of the best traders on these aforementioned platforms are going to be one of the best NFT traders in the future of NFT gaming.
Indeed, if I can quote my personal experience, I've been playing a lot of Counter-Strike, and all the versions from 1.4 to Source and Global Offensive. And there is as well a large community trading skins and different assets through Steam. So I imagine a scenario in which these assets would get will end up in a blockchain, and I will own them really, but I guess it will be too much to ask such thing to Steam. So as you've been saying earlier, there are some different platforms as Elixir, which is willing to do that, and yeah, I see they are implementing a lot of different games, and I would be happy to connect you with them as well, to make a follow-up and to integrate monkeys as well within Solana and all this stuff. I'm pretty bullish about that. So I think we will end up this space unless you have some things or last thoughts to say.
Just one word of Secret Alpha. Yeah. 2 words. Dust Labs. Okay, that's it from me.
All right. Dust Labs and Brick, maybe. Oh, but Paddy, you want to ask something? I'm bringing you. Maybe this time you will be able to talk. But Paddy, go on. Yeah.
All right. Sorry, I'm going to take you guys back a little. Yeah, concerning the laws, because I remember, I think Brick was talking about the laws. So I just want to ask, I'm just being curious. Is it possible, because we had something like we had a game kind of whereby people would ask to create a law and then post it on Twitter on that Zoolana's page. I was just curious, is it possible for those stories to make it into the main game, or it was just for fun or something?
Yeah, I think on our end, the community integration of the community lore stories, I think are really exciting for us. I think we're definitely open to the possibility of expanding the world with community lore. So I would say yes. I don't think it's a given that it will happen, because some people are writing stories that really fit the world, and some people are writing stories that maybe are stories they want to tell but aren't necessarily aligned with the actual happenings of what we've shared about the world of Zoolana so far. So I don't know if we'll ever have a competition where whoever wins is guaranteed to be integrated or something like that, but I think we're definitely open to adopting official canon and adopting official lore from community stories. Absolutely.
Oh, okay. No issue, because I was just kind of imagining a weekly law, kind of, possibly law of the week, or something like that. I don't know, just me being imaginative.
Yeah, absolutely. I think there's a lot of potential.
All right, cool. Thanks for responding.
Of course, yeah. Thank you for listening.
Thanks, Bad Paddy, for the questions and awesome answers as well from the Zoolana side. Well, I think we can call it a day and wrap it with this one. Thanks everyone for participating and coming, listening us. We are making some gaming spaces on a weekly basis on MonkeGaming, so feel free to follow up and well, come for the next editions. And thanks for hearing us. Have a nice day, everyone. Bye.
Awesome.
Thank
Thank
you,
you for
guys.
hosting.
Thanks for you both to come and discuss with me. It was a pleasure, and we'll make some events in the near future.
Beautiful.
Surely.
Awesome.
All
right.
right.
Thank you.
See ya.
Bye.
Have a nice day.